Okay, guys, welcome back to a new video here. So today we're going to be talking about Mehdi Hasan on his platform Sateo, absolutely dog walking a former Israeli ambassador as well as advisor to Benjamin Netanyahu on the current conditions inside of the Gaza Strip. Basically, this advisor is claiming that, oh no, it's not our fault at all. The Israeli government, we have no sort of agency whatsoever. The guy's Smotrich in the government, he has no influence in the government. Every single strike that's been done, especially on the one last week at the hospital, Nasser Hospital, which killed a number of first responders in particular, basically said, oh, it'll be investigated and nothing to see here, that's that. Obviously, this is completely ridiculous, a lot of the stuff he's saying, and Mehdi Hasan absolutely hammers him over the head with a number of different facts here. We're going to show you a number of different clips of this, and it got heated at times, but Mehdi Hasan kept his composure, and I thought did a really good job of just debunking a lot of the narratives coming from this former advisor. So we're going to show you the first clip here of Mehdi Hasan basically talking about the double tap strike on the hospital inside of the Gaza Strip, and, well, the video speaks for itself, and we'll talk about it in just a minute. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to like and subscribe. It's super good for the algorithm, and it helps out the channel immensely. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as well, so hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to become a member, hit the join button below. So that's what I got. Here's the video. We'll talk about it in just a minute.
You say that these ratios are irrelevant. All right, let's talk about specific examples then, not about ratios or percentages. On Monday, Israel struck the Nasser hospital not once, but twice, killing at least 20 people, including 5 journalists, multiple first responders who had rushed to the scene, Danny, after the first strike to pull people out of the rubble. And then they were hit, and 3 of those journalists were killed in a second strike. A double tap, the kind of thing that Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Iraq used to do, what Assad has done in Syria, what Putin has done in Ukraine. Those are war crimes, are they not? Attacking a hospital without warning, killing journalists, killing first responders in multiple strikes, and then saying it was a mistake. No, it was deliberate, cold-blooded.
Well, Mehdi, here I think we do agree on the facts on the ground. Why do we agree? Because it is investigated specifically, and this was something that we do not do. So we are not acting.
Hold on, you did it, Danny. Hold on. You can't say we do not do. You did it. Israel did it.
No, I'll tell you what's the difference. The difference is that Putin, Hamas, Assad, they never apologized for any of that. Here, Netanyahu himself, the IDF, they said it was a mistake and we apologize. And when we apologize, it means we are going to investigate and correct the things.
Okay, hold on. But why do it in the first place? It wasn't an accident. You did a double tap strike on a hospital. An apology is not enough when you do a war crime like that.
Okay, guys. So again, let's talk about the hospital strike Mehdi is talking about right now. So again, first of all, the official claim of the Israeli government is that there was a camera on the hospital, and that's why they took out the camera. Well, okay, so let's just say they're telling the truth, which is, who knows. Let's say the camera was operated by Hamas. You blow up the building with a bunch of medical workers inside? Bizarre. I don't know how it's defensible, but yet that's the official line of the government, and it's genuinely bizarre. And first of all, again, it was a double tap strike. The mistake that was made, again, the ambassador says, oh, the difference with us is that we apologize. Well, this was also caught on film. The reason why there was camera people filming it was because there was already an original strike there. Then all the aid and rescue workers showed up and they struck again. That's why they were caught with their pants down, because they probably weren't thinking, oh my God, this is going to be broadcasted on live TV. But that's exactly what happened. And that's why there's international outcry, because they were caught red-handed doing it. Okay. And again, as I said, even if it was a Hamas camera, which again is very skeptical if that's true or not, you don't blow up a portion of a hospital because there's a camera on the roof. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? And again, it's just so ridiculous because, again, he even says it'll be investigated. All of these investigations, including investigations of aid workers that have been done and conducted by the government, guess what? Nothing ever comes from them, because obviously it's not going to be a partial investigation when the Israeli government is investigating themselves. What are we talking about? Of course. Utter ridiculousness. Totally, like, I don't even know how it's just completely indefensible. And then the prime minister of Israel, even this, I just think is so disrespectful and like, wow. A tragic mishap? Oh yeah, we just killed a bunch of people. It's a mishap. Tragic. Wow. I mean, beyond crazy. And by the way, this was never filmed. There would have never been an apology or anything about this. Let's be very clear about that, okay? So here's a second clip talking about basically the influence of people in the government like Smotrich, Ben-Gvir, and basically the ambassador trying to say, oh, they really don't have much influence you're trying to say, which is, of course, ridiculous. Here's a clip, and we'll talk about it in just a minute.
Who is also a member of the Security Cabinet and the Defense Ministry, Bezalel Smotrich. He's quite open and honest about the plan. And let me just quote to you what he said in May. We are disassembling Gaza, leaving it as piles of rubble with total destruction, which has no precedent globally. We are destroying everything that's left in the Gaza Strip. We are conquering, cleansing and remaining in Gaza. His words, by the way, praised by Netanyahu on Twitter that very day. Words that are a clear admission of genocide and ethnic cleansing.
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, because I think that this guy, this Smotrich guy, is an idiot. I don't think he represents the Israeli people. I hope that, and you know what, by the way, if elections were held today, he doesn't even pass the threshold. If elections were held today, Netanyahu will not be in the government. And when I want to talk about independent judicial system here, you know that Netanyahu and this government try to change the judicial system to give more power to the government. Million Israelis went out to the streets.
Okay.
The Israeli people...
But you're not engaging with what he said. Peace. We are conquering, cleansing, and remaining in Gaza. From the horse's mouth.
Yeah, luckily, he does not command the military.
He's the finance minister. He controls the West Bank. He's part of the defense ministry. And by the way, Netanyahu said on that day, well done, Bezalel Smotrich, you told the truth. Netanyahu is the prime minister of Israel, last time I checked, Danny. So I love this thing that you guys do. Israelis come on TV and say Smotrich is irrelevant. Smotrich is the finance minister of your country. He is in government. You are not, with respect. He is more representative of the Israeli government than you are.
Unfortunately, you are correct in the sense that Smotrich now is in the government, representing the government. Does he represent the people of Israel? I'm not sure.
But I don't care whether he represents the people of Israel. That wasn't my question. My question was, you can deny it's genocide and ethnic cleansing, but the people doing the genocide and ethnic cleansing, Smotrich, Netanyahu, they're open about it. And it's not just Smotrich, by the way. Israel Katz, your defense minister, warned last week that unless Hamas surrenders, Gaza City will, quote, become Rafah and Beit Hanun. It will be razed to the ground.
Okay, and I think in that clip in particular, you see the problem with a lot of the narrative coming out of the Israeli government, okay? Because on one hand, they're saying, no, we don't want any permanent occupation of the Gaza Strip. That's what they say in the Western media, but Netanyahu says. But meanwhile, inside of Israel, you have ministers inside the government, powerful people. Again, the head of finance. That is a big, big position, guys. Basically saying we're going to conquer, cleanse, and remain inside of the Gaza Strip. And then you have that endorsed by Netanyahu that same day saying this is the truth. I mean, that's all you have to hear, guys. Like, I don't know, what is the defense of that? So you see the operation. And again, even recently, you had the State Department spokesman under Biden even said that Netanyahu said to him, yeah, we're going to be here for years. What? How is this on a major story? But it's not, because of course not, because the Western media, again, does cover for the government line in Israel. It's a disgrace. Okay, guys. And again, notice how he calls him an idiot. Oh, he's stupid. He's an idiot. He makes stupid statements. That's what the ambassador says about Smotrich. Well, it doesn't matter if he's an idiot. He's in control. He has a lot of power. And he's in Netanyahu's coalition in the government. So it doesn't really matter if, again, it doesn't matter who he's representing. I mean, he has power, and he is clearly looking to act upon that. And it clearly looks like it's being supported by Benjamin Netanyahu himself, okay? And let's be honest, according to all polling inside of Israel, a lot of Israelis openly support, we'll just kick the Palestinians out. Look at the polling, guys. It's there. And again, it is pretty wild to hear this, especially when they tell Western media the opposite of what the actual government ministers are saying inside of Israel themselves. And it is true. The idea that people like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir don't have much power, utterly ridiculous, okay? Utterly ridiculous. And the last clip we're going to show you guys basically kind of shows a lot of the hypocrisy that came, especially during the Iran war in particular, of how a lot of the Israeli government government buildings are inside of central Tel Aviv themselves. Pretty wild stuff. So here's the final clip, and we'll talk about it in just a minute.
Hamas is.
So you can bomb wherever Hamas is.
Civilians.
Danny, can you tell our viewers, where is the Israeli military headquarters? Where are the IDF? Could you answer a question for me, Danny? Could you tell our viewers, where are the headquarters of the Israeli military? Where is the IDF military's headquarters?
The military is in Tel Aviv. But
it's in the heart of Tel Aviv. So does that mean that any Palestinian group can blow up all of Tel Aviv to get to the IDF?
No, because when you see... No, because the Israeli headquarters, they don't have tanks, they don't have missiles there.
The Israeli military headquarters is underneath Tel Aviv. It is near train stations, shopping centers, residential buildings. This is hypocrisy to say one side hides under civilians, but the other one doesn't. Mossad is also in Tel Aviv.
I'll tell you why not. Because Israel does not use this as a military base.
Of course you do. It's the headquarters of the IDF. It's where you plan your war. It would be a legitimate target in any war to attack a military headquarters.
A totally different situation, because
let's talk about...
shoot from them. The IDF does not have any firing positions there. It's totally different. And again, you cannot compare.
And there were no firing positions under the Shifa hospital. That video that you put out, no one ever found any military base under the Shifa hospital. We're running out of time.
Okay, and I think Mehdi is unquestionably correct there. Again, a lot of the criticism against Hamas, and fair enough, is that they embed themselves within the civilian population inside of the Gaza Strip. First of all, I don't know where else other military installations inside of the Gaza Strip are going to be. It's such a small area, but fine, that's a valid criticism, sure. But you can't say that, then at the same time, you have your own military installations set up in civilian areas. Again, this particularly came to a head during the 12-day war with Iran, where Iran was targeting, again, they were accused of targeting civilian centers inside of Tel Aviv. And there's no question apartment buildings and complexes were hit. But at the same time, they also were targeting, according to many reports out there, I believe it was the IDF or the Kyria, I believe it's called, the head of Israeli intelligence. They targeted the Mossad inside of Tel Aviv proper. And again, the thing about the 12-day war, guys, it's been reported, it was not really confirmed whether or not it was hit because the censorship inside of Israel at the time was intense. But according to many reports, it was struck, again, in a civilian area. So, and how do you exactly evaluate that? Is it against international law? Because again, it's the same argument the Israelis are using, but when it's used against them, all of a sudden it's on, you can't target civilian areas. Well, but that's where your military installations are. That's where, at least where your intelligence headquarters are. So again, how do you exactly tell between the two? Again, the hypocrisy is the point that Mehdi's trying to make there, and I think he's unquestionably correct. How is he incorrect when it's literally the same exact thing. It's literally the same exact thing. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this video, guys. I thought Mehdi Hasan did a great job. I thought he, quite frankly, dominated the debate. So, I mean, if you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comment section. Again, make sure to like and subscribe. It's super good for the algorithm. And if you want to become a member, hit the join button below. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great night, and I'll see you later.